great things about skating is you can do it anywhere. But the skate park has been specifically designed for the skater. And beyond that, it helps build community.
A lot of skating is about the community. So I like to go to skate parks where I think the community is fun. I think the people are nice.
If you want to try something in the streets, you could just practice it at the park and then go out and try your trick.
I know with me and my friends, we look at the park as like a training field, and you come here to learn things and practice and get better.
A skate park, you get to practice, you get to learn, you get to figure out how to be consistent, and it's a de-stressor, I'd say.
Skate parks provide a perfect training ground because, unlike the streets, they are built from the ground up for one reason: skating. The whole landscape is designed for speed, momentum, launching, and landing. Parabolically curved quarter pipes connect high points to the ground in a smooth line. As skaters drop in, their potential energy converts to kinetic energy as they speed towards transitions and banks with ideal slopes for launching into tricks. As they zoom into transitions, skaters pump their legs and adjust their center of gravity. The conservation of angular momentum lets skaters actually gain energy as they ride up the curve and stick to the vertical wall. So if you've ever asked your geometry teacher where you'd find math in the real world, you should check out a skate park.
Skate parks are very unique. The skate park that you're looking at right here would not have been constructed and built without the active participation from the community. So they came knocking on our doors at Columbus Recreation Park saying, we need a skate park at Tuttle Park. So it took a few years, as sometimes it does, but we were able to ultimately follow through on that. And so California Skateparks is the firm that was successful in working with us, and it's been a joy to work with them. Very knowledgeable, have roots in Columbus, and they're the ones who have the technical expertise to carry us through the system.
I work at California Skateparks, and I am one of the designers on our team with a background in landscape architecture. After realizing these spaces that are just scattered throughout the whole United States and the world, where it's a really core recreational facility for these new age sports, that's really what caught my attention.
I find value in skating a park due to learning tricks. Stuff here is kind of set up perfectly.
Traditionally, skate parks were for skateboarders, and skateboarders in the past have been a very specific demographic, teenage boys essentially. That of course has expanded broadly over the years, and it continues to grow. For cities, the creation of a public skate park is a real gesture to the skateboarding community that they're seen, that they're recognized. You go by any skate park, and as long as it's open, there's kids in there.
A big part of our design is just looking at past projects we've done and trying to understand what's working and what's not, and if changing something by a couple feet or even a couple inches, how is that going to affect and make it better in the future? The core tools that we use when we're designing skate parks is really AutoCAD and SketchUp.
CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. This technology has been around for decades, and today it is the standard across nearly all design, engineering, and manufacturing industries. CAD is more than just drawing on a computer. It is not manual measuring and drafting, but instead uses mathematical algorithms to generate lines and shapes. Curves are more precise, measurements are exact down to the tiniest scale, and revisions are faster and easier. Designing skate parks in CAD leads to pristine shapes and smooth flows as designs become reality. 3D modeling software allows designers and engineers to explore options efficiently and to visualize their ideas at a variety of scales.
SketchUp is a 3D modeling program. We use it to really get into the nitty-gritty and showing reveal on metals, coping depths, all the geometry of the features, and we'll even take what we're building in SketchUp and then bring it into CAD, which is more for blueprints and for construction documents, bringing it into more of a technical real-world sense. Typically, we're using concrete with rebar and then metal edging for everything else.
You want to minimize the amount of joints and cracks for smooth skateboarding surface. And then you also have to have a lot of reinforcement in the concrete to make sure you minimize any cracking or breakage throughout. And it's really fun when you watch them pour the concrete or the skate park because they have these nozzles with lots of shotcrete flowing out of it. So it's a pretty impressive process to watch.
Shotcrete is shot through a big hose with powerful air behind it, so it compacts when it hits the form. This allows concrete to stick to vertical surfaces and uniquely shaped banks and transitions. But concrete is not one size fits all. Skate park concrete must be smooth and able to withstand constant impact. Each city has its own climate and weather conditions, so the mix of cement, water, sand, or gravel is meticulously designed based on those environmental factors.
We do have a concrete mix that we've been using for years. We want it to be smooth, but it's always finding that balance where you want a little bit of fuzz on it to have a texture where you can grip your wheels and tires. But once you like over finish it and smooth it, it's like an ice rink. If it's too slick, you're just gonna be washing out everywhere you go.
First and foremost, it's a community, because even at the highest competitive level, it's just inherent in skateboarding. And it gives them that place to go where they can meet other skaters, they acknowledge each other and what each other are trying to do. And what's great is you go to the grand openings, you reveal a park to a community that is unique to them. It is their park.
If you hang out at a skate park a few times, you will notice the sense of community. Don't be surprised if there's a cheer from everyone when you finally land a trick you've been working on. Sure, there may be some hecklers, but for the most part, the skateboarding scene is a group of diverse and humble athletes working their hardest to get better every day. Scientific studies consistently show that increased feelings of connectedness are associated with increased feelings of happiness. Our holistic human health is simply better when we have a community. This is why skate parks are so popular and why they are so important.
When I have people to skate with, it's very uplifting. Like it makes skateboarding a lot more fun.
It's a very social activity for a lot of people. Like I always end up doing it with my friends. So it's kind of just an excuse to go hang out like you're a child still.
I've never met a group of people who like are so different, have so many different hobbies and interests, but they're all so like tightly connected. Skateboarding brings a lot of people together, and I think that's a really beautiful thing because you don't get that with a lot of other sports.